Greetings, Algebra. Welcome to your first video. Instead of a whiteboard marker, please take out a paper and pencil, and I would like for you to write out how these two things are similar and different. Pause the video now and do just that. Today we're going to learn about solving multi-step inequalities, graphing their solution on a number line, and being open to embracing the errors. This is the first time you have ever seen this, so I assume that you're going to have some errors as you learn it. This is okay. Just continue to try and ask questions in our Zoom meeting as needed. I want you to pause the video and write on your paper the symbols that you already know for these. Please do so now. Hopefully these are the symbols that you came up with. There's some other symbols that we are going to use that mean the same thing, and we can use these symbols for both sides. So less than can be an open circle, and also greater than can be an open circle. Greater than or equal to can be a closed circle. We call it closed because it's filled in, as well as less than or equal to. It can also have a closed symbol. We can use another symbol that works for this as well. Less than can be parentheses, and greater than can be parentheses. This means that greater than or equal to can be brackets, as well as less than or equal to. That can also be brackets. You'll see how this applies later on when we actually solve inequalities. What does it mean to say what is written here? We're used to reading it from left to right, and we can say that x is greater than 5. The best thing about inequalities is that you can also read it from right to left. So that would say that 5 is less than x. Again, you can read it left to right. X is greater than 5, or we can read it right to left and say that 5 is less than x. I know you have learned this from alligators back in elementary school, right? The alligator teeth eats the bigger number. That's fine if that's how you remember it. But now that we are in 8th grade, I like to think of it as an arrow. And the arrow tip is always going to point to the thing that is smaller or less than. We're going to do an exploration to make sure that the statement stays true. So what I'm going to have you do is write down that -2 is less than 4 on your paper. And I'm going to have you explore by multiplying numbers to both sides. I would like for you to write down what I have written as well. This is what we're going to do to both sides. Pause the video and write it down, please. Let's do the math together. 3 times -2 is -6. We know that this is less than 3 times 4, which is 12. I'm going to take these and plug them back in here so that the statement is what we're saying. We're going to say 2 times -6 now, and we're going to do 2 times 12. So let's continue by playing that or putting that symbol where it goes. 2 times -6, a positive times a negative is negative, so I end up with -12. I know that 2 times 12 is 24. I'm going to continue to put this symbol here, and we're going to see if this is true. -12 divided by +6 is -2. 24 divided by 6 is 4. We're going to have that less than statement there. This is still true. And now we're going to experiment, and we're going to divide by a negative. So -2 divided by -2 is a +1. +4 divided by -2 is a -2. I'm going to bring down that symbol. Is this a true statement? Is 1 less than -2? Or you could say it backwards. Is -2 greater than 1? This is not a true statement. So how would you fix this? You can fix this by flipping the inequality symbol. I can flip it to say that 1 is greater than -2. By flipping that symbol, I now made that statement true. This is why when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you need to flip the inequality symbol. Please take a moment on your paper and sum up the rule that you just discovered in that exploration we just did. Perfect. We're going to move on. Now we need to know how to actually solve inequalities. This is where those symbols come into play that I showed you earlier in the video. This is a first or one-step equation. I say equation like it has an equal sign. It doesn't. We're going to use this and solve this just like we would if it was an equation, but in reality, this is an inequality. So to get x isolated all by itself, I have it adding to 9. I need to use that inverse operation, so I'm going to subtract 9. But what I do to one side, I must do to the other side. That's part of our commandments for solving anything. I'm now going to rewrite what I have left. These become 0, so I can cross them out. I have that x is less than 15 minus 9, which is 6. This looks like I would be done, but I'm not. I need to actually graph this on a number line and show you that that really is the answer. So I'm going to make a number line. The best part about making a number line by yourself is you get to decide how to label it. I know that 0 is there, so I'm going to say that 6 is on this side of 0, and I'm labeling it as 6. Now it says that x is less than 6. Remember in our slides up above, we could use an open circle for that. So I'm going to write an open circle right above the 6. If x is less than 6, that means that any of the numbers that are less than 6 makes that statement still true. So we draw the arrow showing you that anything less than 6 is true. Please pause the video and try the next one. Hopefully you got this answer. I'm going to work it out quickly so that you can see where your work is. If I have that 5x plus 15 is less than or equal to -10, the first thing I need to do to isolate my x is to get rid of this positive 15. And I'm going to do that by subtracting 15 because that's its inverse to both sides. I'm going to rewrite what's left. I have 5x is less than or equal to a negative minus 15. That's going to be a party because I have the same signs. So I have 10 bad people. I have 15 more bad people. I'm going to have 25 bad people in the end. I now need to get x by itself, and the opposite of multiplying by 5 would be dividing by 5. As I'm dividing by 5, I need to notice that 5 is a positive number. Because I am dividing by a positive number, my symbol is going to stay the same direction. I will write what's left. X is less than or equal to a negative divided by a positive is negative, so I have -5. How did you graph this? I would graph it like this. Here's 0. I know that -5 is on the other side of 0. I love that freedom of being able to create the number line how I like it. I know that I have this less than or equal to symbol, which means that I'm going to use a closed circle. I know that x is less than -5. So if I go less than -5, that means my arrow is pointing in that less than direction. Hopefully you got the same. Please take a moment and write where your mistakes were. Here are 4 other inequalities for you to solve. These become a little more difficult as you go because you have already learned how to solve multi-step equations. These are multi-step inequalities. Take a moment, or however long you need, to solve those 4 inequalities. Remember to graph your solutions when you are done. Here are the 4 solutions for you. We do not have these graphed, however, so they need to make sure that they are graphed. If I have that x is less than negative 9 over 4, I know zeros here. Negative 9 over 4 has to be on that side of 0. My less than symbol says that I can use an open circle, and x is less than, so it's going to go in that direction. I'm going to show you that in that last one, x is greater than 16. Again, on a number line, I know zeros here, so 16 has to be on that side. Instead of using an open circle, you can use a parenthesis, and I'm going to have the solution go greater than what that 16 is. So if you want to use a parenthesis instead of an open circle, totally fine. If you did not get the same answers for those 4 practice problems, pause the video, rewind, go back and look at those 4 problems, and continue to try and solve so you get the answer. The last thing I would like for you to do today is to look at how this learner solved this inequality. They made a mistake. Can you catch it? Please write on your paper where it is that the mistake happened. Thank you for your time. I enjoyed talking with you. I will see you soon. Come to the Zoom meeting or class, and we will discuss any questions that you may have. Have a great day.